What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Gonna be doing things a little bit different today. Today we have a react video. So I found like 10 of some pretty, I think, interesting TikToks. I really haven't watched all of these videos, so before we get into it, just let me disclaim that I don't know what we're going to be watching today. I peeked to see if the videos are actually going to be interesting, but let's just get into it, man. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok from me, Alex from AMSTransfers.com. I am the owner here of this custom DTF business. We have currently 4 24-inch Audley DTF printers. We've been running them since about 2020, and we have been in business, honestly, since the start of DTF. So let's see what's out there on the internet. All right, let's just see what we got here. We'll go to the first one.
It's expensive. We mean it. Guess what we're doing right now? You see this hot mess? This is what $1,000 to $1,200 looks like. A print head, and not one, but 2. When you have to replace them, it's not $1,000. It's $2,000 to $2,400. So
this video is from our girl Griffin Expressions. She was saying the cost of these print heads starts at like $1,000 to $1,200, and yeah, unfortunately she's right. These things are very expensive, and DTF printers, especially depending on the maintenance that you do to them, can have points where you might need to invest in a new print head. I know from firsthand experience that has unfortunately happened to us. We made it 3 years in our business where we did not have to buy a DTF print head. So, I mean, your mileage is going to vary, but all going to depend on the maintenance that you actually keep these DTF printers in. Make sure that you're using capping solution if you're not already.
Before you go buying a printer, make sure that you can afford it and change these, because it's not easy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's also another good point. It is not easy to change a print head. You basically have to kind of disassemble the entire print head assembly. You have to take the cover off, undo the ribbon cables, unscrew the print head, take off the dampers, everything like that. And when you can take off those dampers, they can sometimes leak. It's just not fun. She's completely right. And yeah, odds are you probably don't need to change both of them at the same time. So it probably is unlikely that you have to pay $2,400 to replace them both, but that isn't to say that it can't happen. That can surely happen, where if you are not taking the proper care of these DTF printers, you might be in a situation where you have to replace both of the print heads, or else you have a upwards of $10,000 paperweight. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, so I'm getting a lot of messages about DTF. I've got a few messages and comments, and I want to address this because the question that I keep getting asked about this DTF.
This is a video from Your Etsy Bestie. This was posted a little while ago, over a year ago.
My DTF domination course and DTF, like doing it from home, is it profitable?
Sorry guys, I think I'm going to speed this up a little bit.
So I keep getting these message and comments. Is this a good business model? Is this really profitable? And I'm like, guys, literally, of course it is. That's why I'm teaching you how to do it. That's why I do it. You don't need to ask me if it's a profitable thing to do. I would not be doing it if it wasn't. And I would not be teaching you guys how to do it if it wasn't. Are you going to have the same success that I've had? No. Are you going to have more success? Maybe. Are you going to have less success? I don't know. It depends on so many variables, guys. So it's not like you buy a course and you're guaranteed the success of everyone who either built the course or took the course. I mean, there's so many variables and you have to put in the work, right? So anyway, I just find it funny because a lot of you are like, is this really a profitable business? And I'm like,
So I don't know anything about this person. They sound like they might be selling courses. It does, so Digital Boss Academy Volume 1, Digital Design Domination. Yeah, I mean, I don't entirely know what all of this is. It does look like it is a course. But yeah, so it might look like this person is selling courses on like how to do DTF or t-shirt businesses, and I guess is getting some comments from people wondering if this is profitable or not. Again, that is going to depend on a lot of different variables, like she is saying, But I think that there is some nuance to this specific video, but overall, DTF is, in my opinion, incredibly profitable. Like, we run our entire business around it. But there is the big race to the bottom going on where people are just trying to undercut everybody on price. They're trying to be the lowest price in town, and that is a losing game in my opinion. But it's going to depend on how you position your business, what value adds that you have, the things that you think separate you from the competition, a whole bunch of variables.
Guys, I did $10,000 in revenue and sales in the first 90 days. I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even have a website for the first month. And now, wait for my TikTok update.
$10,000 in 90 days that's pretty decent. $3,300 a month.
I'm gonna update you later today, so you know my first month on TikTok Shop in January did 5.
I do wonder, like, what the margin was on that. Like, if you were just starting out, were you printing them yourself? And if you were printing them yourself, is that selling like the DTF transfers, like that you made the $10,000, or did you make the $10,000 selling the printed T-shirts by using DTF transfers? Again, I don't know anything about this. I'm kind of going into this blind.
My first month, not too shabby. Like, I want better, obviously. Wait till you hear my update, how it's going so far in the first 2 weeks of February. So anyway, to answer your question, yes, it is absolutely a freaking amazing, profitable industry to get into. I wouldn't be telling you guys how to do it, and I wouldn't be doing it. Okay.
She also is selling courses, so I think that's probably why she's doing it. I don't know if she's doing it out of the goodness of her heart. Otherwise, I'm not sure that she would be charging for it. But I get everybody's got to make money. But at the end of the day, the product that she sells is a course, so just be careful with that. Let's move on to the next one.
Shirt makers, don't be fooled. Not all DTF transfers have the same quality.
This is a video from Always Blanks. Again, posted almost a year ago. I tried to find some really popular ones on TikTok, and it, I guess, seems that the popular ones are from the ages. So we'll see as we keep going what this, what people are watching.
Be fooled. Not all DTF transfers have the same quality. Our DTF transfers peel hot like butter, and they feel amazing once you press them on your shirt.
So yeah, that is definitely true. There is a difference on DTF transfers depending on who you buy them from. Not all DTF transfers are the same and are created equally. The settings that the supplier you're buying your DTF transfers from can matter a lot on how your prints actually look, how they feel on the t-shirt, all of that. So make sure that if you are not happy with a certain characteristic, you don't just label all DTF as this, as all DTF as plasticky, low quality, feels like a sticker on the t-shirt, because that's not how it is. That might just be that specific person that you bought them from has their print settings not dialed in correctly, or maybe it's just something, or it could be a couple of other factors that are actually affecting how it is. For example, if you are using like a t-shirt that is black and you're using a black design, and you're using a design that has black in it, knocking out the black is going to make that design feel infinitely better no matter what the print settings are. So there are things that you can do, but again, don't paint with a broad brush. Not all DTF transfers are created equally. And like she was also saying, the settings that you peel the transfers on also are going to vary. So like we use instant peel here in our business. She was saying that she uses hot peel, and the industry is moving towards instant and hot peel. There are a couple of people who are still stuck on cold peel, but that is just because, in my opinion, this is all an opinionated video, friends, that they are still turned off by how instant and hot peel was at the beginning of DTF. But since then, manufacturers have made some significant improvements to the actual formula for the coating on the film. So give it another try if you haven't already. Instant and hot peel, they've made a lot of strides in how they actually are.
Not like plastic, like other DTF companies. Shop now at Always Blank.
Yeah, I mean, she's completely correct, like I was saying. That's honestly some great advice. And if you guys are looking to just really focus solely on the marketing and selling, There's honestly no better way to do that than using something like AMS Transfers Plus. With AMS Transfers Plus, all you have to do is focus on marketing and selling your actual products. And then when your customers place an order on your website, that'll get routed to us for production. We will print the customer order back on our DTF printers, ship it to the customer, and under the return address, it's going to say your brand name. So with something like AMS Transfers Plus, you no longer need to actually go ahead with the purchase of a DTF printer. You can actually just focus that money that could be better spent on something like Facebook ads, Google ads, getting more customers for your business to your website. With AMS Transfers Plus, we give you all of the tools that you need to allow your customers to go onto your website, build their own gang sheets, upload their artwork onto t-shirts, order their artwork however they want to, and meet your customers where they are. If you have customers who want to order transfers DIY and do it themselves, you can sell them a DTF transfer. If you have a customer who wants to put their logo on a mug, a Yeti, something like that, but they don't have a heat press, you can sell them a peel and stick UV DTF transfer. And then for some of those customers who you have who kind of don't want to do any of that, they just want the t-shirt, you can sell them a printed finished t-shirt. Using something like AMS Transfers Plus nowadays is honestly becoming a no-brainer. Buying DTF printers may be flashy and the next big thing. I know that having a cool DTF printer setup might be appealing and you might want to have that kind of thing for social media, whatever it is. But with something like AMS Transfers Plus, you focus on what matters, and that is getting sales to your website and focusing on your customers. If you guys are looking to get started with something like AMS Transfers Plus, feel free to book a demo with me. You can do that on amstransfersplus.com/demo. Moving on.
This is a little behind the scenes of what it's like to...
Oh boy, guys. So this was actually a printer that I covered in one of my videos. So this was, I think, the recommendation that I made for the beginner's guide to DTF printers, part 1. So I recommended the BY20 from Roland and the Prestige R2 Pro. So this was actually one of the other printers that I recommended for beginners. So let's take a look at this thing. This is a video from Freshly Pressed Customs.
Print with the DTF printer. Today happened to be a day that we needed to refill some inks. We don't have to do that daily. And this next part is just a trick that we learned.
They need to move that a little further away from the wall so that they don't have to do that. That's sketchy.
And this next part is just a trick that we learned. We just leave excess film on the roller, and
if you guys are interested, check out the video where we show you how we attach our film to our DTF printers. But spoiler, it's very similar.
we pull it back through the oven and the shaker and use heat tape to attach it to the film that's going to come out of the printer.
Little pro tip, and this is something that we've just started using. We use like shipping labels to actually attach the film. Works really well. We get our shipping labels for free, so use shipping labels, guys, if you aren't already and you're doing a method like this.
It just helps pull it through the shaker in the oven. So this is obviously the printer printing. It lays down the color ink and then it lays down white ink on top of that colored ink. And this next design that you're gonna see is one that I couldn't leave out of the video. Here is the adhesive powder. So the printer prints it, it goes through this adhesive.
This thing looks solid, man. It honestly, it looks just like ours. They have the powder like keeper thing. Again, that did not always exist. When we first bought our first DTF printer, it did not come with that. I don't actually even think our second one came with that. So they didn't start using these things, these silver powder shakers, until like 2023. No, like 2024, honestly. So those things are awesome. And this thing is honestly just like a shrunk down version of what we have going on back there. It is, oh man, I don't remember off the top of my head what print heads this guy uses, but like, look at it. It's exactly the same. It's just, I think it's 13 inches wide versus the 24 inches that we have. So this thing's solid, man.
Powder, and then the shaker knocks off any excess powder, and then it goes through the oven. And this is just a view of all.
I do like, what is this? Is this some sort of integrated ventilation system? Because I don't like, is that enough to keep up?
All of it happening. The printer, it goes down through the shaker, and then it comes out of the oven like you see here.
My printers don't even have this bar right here. This is also like a new thing that seems to be shipping on DTF printers lately. We don't even have that on ours.
So this is the finished product. These are cured designs and they are ready to be pressed onto the garments. So this next part is when it's finished, my husband will just cut the film and he will manually let that go through the shaker.
Bro, what was that thing? I need something like that.
In the oven. And he will then trim.
Bro, what is that thing? Is that like something you use for fabric?
The designs, and I take them out to what I call the creation station.
Bro,
and
that
I
thing's
press them on
sick.
garments. So this printer is the Prestige R2 Pro. I got it from All American Print Supply. I absolutely love it. I am obviously not a pro, neither is my husband. There is so much for us to learn, but as of now, we can say that we do absolutely love it. And if you have any questions that I might have the answer to, I am more than willing to answer them. I hope that you enjoyed our little behind the scene.
Yeah, that thing, I honestly like that thing. I don't know how to spell Prestige, I guess. But I just wanted to see, oh, it's the i1600 printhead. So this thing is pretty interesting, man. I know that I accidentally said i600 on my video where I did the budget guide, and a lot of people were upset with me. So I got to make sure that I get this right. It is a dual Epson i1600 printheads. Man, I almost said it wrong again. But yeah, it's like honestly the same printer. Hansan mainboard. Pretty good printer, man. Really good for budget. A lot of people left comments on that video saying like, oh my gosh, $10,000 for a budget printer. Are you kidding me? How is that budget? But like, I mean, at the end of the day, these other printers, like the converted Epson printers and other things where they're just basically trying to make something work, are not going to set you up for success. That's why, honestly, getting something like this where it's like, yeah, it's obviously very not affordable. Like $8,500, that's expensive. And yeah, that's definitely expensive. That's about the same price as those 24 inches that we paid back there. But at the end of the day, you're getting the support from All American Print Supply. You're buying it from a American supplier, so you can always use this if you need to. But yeah, I mean, it's a great beginner machine. That's a great video. Really happy that we saw that. So this is from our boys, AMS Transfers. I just thought that I actually saw this video before on my feed, and it's a solid video. Respect, credit where credit is due. It's a solid video. So I think the thing that they were kind of showing was that these are really great for, like, this is how you would have to do it if you were using vinyl and you wanted to do a 2-color t-shirt. You would have to do each of these different colors separate pieces. I'm pretty sure that they did a little bit for exaggeration. Like, I'm pretty sure you could do all of the white, then all of the red. You wouldn't necessarily have to do it piece by piece like they were doing. I think if you did like position all of your red with the hoodie on the heat press, or you did the white, peeled it, positioned the red with the hoodie still on the heat press, and then put a Teflon sheet across the entire hoodie, that you could definitely get all of the red elements done in one hit. So some of this is for dramatic effect, but honestly it's a great video. Credit where credit is due. It's a solid concept, and I dig it.
Hear that? DTF. Looks nice and bright though, but still thicker.
Might have to watch that again. This is from our boy, the Trend Machine. DTG printing in the name.
Hear that? DTF. Looks nice and bright though, but still thicker.
All right, so like, where do we start here? I mean, at the end of the day, how can you even argue that DTG is different? Because isn't like DTG just kind of like, I mean, again, this is probably a stretch, but like, isn't DTG just like a bunch of tiny stickers as well? Because you're literally spraying glue onto the t-shirt and then you're printing on the ink. If you just printed the ink without the pre-treat, the design is gonna fall off of the shirt the first time you wash it. So in a way, you're still like just gluing ink onto a t-shirt, which is kind of what a sticker is if you really think about it. You're like gluing the I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, it all depends, like I was saying before. If you have your settings dialed in, it's not going to feel like plastic. This design was huge, big, full blocks of ink.
DTF.
That's gonna be, you're gonna feel that, honestly.
Bright though, but
And especially if you don't have your white ink settings dialed in right, that is going to feel on the t-shirt. There's just no way to cut it. You're gonna feel it. It's going to be like, DTG does feel really good on the t-shirt. Can't deny that. It feels good. Doesn't look like, why he was pointing out the vibrance, doesn't look nearly as good as DTF in terms of color quality, but feels really good on the t-shirt. It can feel a little rough if you don't heat press it, but if you heat press a DTG after it's finished, it feels really good. If you do cure it through like a dryer oven curing machine like we use for screen printing, you can get like a rougher texture, but
still thicker.
As much as I would like to agree to this comment, this time I honestly cannot.
okay, so we have our video from Bev's Crafty Studio. This is from May 2024, so almost a year ago. She is making a video reply to a comment that says, "Oh, but so much work to maintain and produce quality prints, leave it to the professionals." One, why didn't you do like a video reply? It looks like she like screenshotted it and then put it in, so I'm a little pessimistic to start this off.
Sometimes us as small business owners, we need to go with what's more convenient to us. And in this case, investing into a DTF printer was more convenient for me and smarter because of last minute prints that I couldn't get done with gang sheets. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys how I maintenance my printer. And this is just to show you guys that don't be scared.
I mean, again, it kind of depends on where you're buying from. If you do order from amstransfers.com, place your order before 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We get it printed and shipped for you the same day. So you literally place your order by 3 p.m. And then if your order is over $300, you get free overnight shipping. So you would get your order the next day.
Of what you hear, sometimes you just have to try it out on your own. All I do every day before I start printing, I go in and do a print head cleaning. Once I do that, it actually starts gurgling all of the excess ink in the lines and goes into my waste container. Next, I go into my printer and I shake up my white.
I actually have not heard or seen anything about this printer. Halonic? Let me know if you guys have heard about this in the comments.
And also sometimes some of the colors if they have been sitting there for too long. Once I have performed all of that, I then go in and do a nozzle status, which is going to print a nozzle check to ensure that all of my colors are coming out correctly from the print head. Once you see that everything is coming out correctly, you are honestly ready to start printing for the day. Of course, there's deeper cleanings that you can do and other ways to maintenance your printer, but this is just something that I do on the daily to keep mine going. Now, also shout out to my friend Blanca at
I've been there before. So I don't know if she's doing this as a color test or if she's doing it to try and clear any clogs out of the print heads. But if she's doing it for the latter, I've been there and it doesn't work.
At BGC Endless Creations, she gave me a tip to print a color strip before I print any of my images to make sure that my colors are coming out perfectly. And let me just tell you that this has been another way to check my colors and make sure everything's been going good and smooth. Everything as...
Yeah, I mean, this is a good tip. What we do is we run what is essentially that color bar on the side of all of our prints all the time, constantly. So if you do order transfers from us, you'll see something like that, a lot smaller though, on the side of the actual film. And that is just to ensure that the prints are looking perfect. The color is accurate across all of the designs when we are QCing them. So it just allows us the visual option to make sure that the colors are perfectly right based off of that color strip. And it goes throughout the entire print. And it not only does visual QC for us, but it also allows the print heads to be printing all of the colors at all times. So it's using, if you are doing like an all white design, with the color bar on, the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So you don't have to worry about them getting really nasty clogs if you otherwise did not have them on.
As you can see now, my colors are perfect and ready to go. That way I can also keep providing good quality prints for my customers.
Pretty interesting setup. I haven't heard anything about that DTF printer. Let me know if you guys have. But almost done here. Last one.
Three things that I wish I...
Got a video from our boy Merch Studio. So this is, he is actually in Texas. He's out in Baytown. So he's pretty close to us here in Houston.
Before getting a DTF printer for a t-shirt print. Number one, you can make 40 full-size prints per hour on this printer and 80 on the new ones. But it's gonna take...
So I would assume then that the other one was a 2-head and the new one is a 4-head that he was referring to?
30 minutes to set up in the morning and another 30 minutes at the end of the day to clean up. Number two, you're
Facts.
going to want to put it in your garage or in a shop because these dryers are too wide to fit through a regular door. Number three, you're...
All right, low something. So if you were to, again, this depends. This specific printer, I know for an absolute fact. I have this printer in my shop back here. If you do not put these rails on right here, if you leave them off before you put the dryer, so if you don't install them before you actually move them into the space, you can fit this entire dryer through a standard 32-inch doorway. But with these two things right here on the sides of the actual printer, you will not be able to fit them through a standard doorway. So if you want to be able to get this entire dryer through the actual door, make sure that you're not putting those guys on because they will not fit through the doorway with those on. But otherwise you can get them through a door. You can still fit this through a standard 32-inch doorway, I know.
Too wide to fit through a regular door. Number three, you're gonna need a vent system because curing them can make a crazy amount of fumes that goes out this way. And one more thing
Facts, unfortunately.
that I wish I knew, you're gonna need help running these printers because number one, they have ovens and you can't leave them printing. And more importantly, you should be focusing your time on the 20% of the tasks that give you 80% of the returns, which is...
I like that motto, man. You're doing some good work over there, Merch Studio. Jared from Merch Studio.
In this case, is marketing and selling. Hope that helped. Let's make...
That's honestly some great advice. And if you guys are looking to just really focus solely on the marketing and selling, there's honestly no better way to do that than using something like AMS Transfers Plus. But all right, guys, I really hope that you guys have enjoyed the video this far. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you guys made it this far in the video. And I think if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comments. This was pretty fun and I enjoyed seeing what other people have to say and are doing with DTF out there. But for now, thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
No crew, just me. Ink run deep, print don't sleep. Gang sheets stacking up, heat press speed, yeah. Midnight oil in the air, I don't blink. DTF flooding out magenta and pink. Every run clean, barcode sync.